right. Let's go live. While I'm going live, let me do a couple things here. All right. Hello, everyone who's just joining. If you're wondering what I'm doing, oh, look at that. That's interesting. I should tell Kyle, but it's all good. We're doing some playtesting. What's up, Beta? Good to see you. In fact, I need to pull up um, some sort of notepad, but I guess I could do this for now. Yeah, midday streaming. So I don't have any work at this very moment, so I figured I'd do a stream before the day gets ahead of me. As many of you guys have who've been watching my streams have noticed that I am constantly at, you know, the disposal of my crazy schedule. So whenever I have time to do stuff, I want to try to do stuff. So this is just me playtesting a little project that me and my buddy are working on. If you guys want to know more about it and see the latest demo version, go to the website, homies. That's on the description. It should be for the Centurium demo. In fact, here, let me see if I can actually grab that for you guys. I don't know. Wait, hold on just a second. Give me a second. I should just have this ready to go, you know what I mean? Do 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 do. There you go. Okay, found it. How's everyone's day going so far? And I should do this too. Okay. Um, let me. I'm on my laptop, so it's a little bit more of a challenge because I actually set up my main computer downstairs with like a three monitor system. I had like two old monitors that I haven't used in a while. I've been using a single monitor for years, mainly because I found the value of using a single monitor allows me to stay focused. Sorry, my little baby is sitting next to me. He's watching some YouTube videos. Um, but when you're streaming, it's actually good to have like multiple monitors, right? Because you can have one monitor to have all your kind of streaming software, and then like any kind of notes or secondary things you can have like a browser window. Um, and so my laptop only have two, which is not crazy. It's not hard or anything. It's just I'm not used to it. You got wrecked in the demo. Yeah, it's definitely hard. We're working on making it a little bit more approachable, but it is definitely going to be hard. But anyway, I'm going to play a bit of kind of the latest state. There's still some kinks, obviously, now that I'm looking at this. Oh, yeah. And then let me turn that down. You guys won't hear any audio, but I heard it very loud. Because we're trying to implement like a save state. And also, we're doing some adjustments to the UI so you guys can see right now. Oh, that's actually interesting. This is not the way I should be testing this. Or maybe I can. Let's see. Let's see what happens when we go this route. Yeah, okay, cool. So for those of you who've played the last and the greatest version of this, the one that you guys, the link that I sent you to, will not give you access to this because we're trying to build more of a narrative. We're trying to build more of like a world. Now, we're not going hardcore. We're not trying to make Mass Effect or anything crazy. I think our game's going to still be very arcadey, still very like in and out. But we wanted to make it feel a little bit more interesting. So we're trying to implement some dialogue that you can read, um, and some text and what have you, so you can follow along the story if it matters to you. Otherwise, you can just ignore this and just play the game entirely. Um, but yeah, okay, cool, nice. Oh, can I already install this stuff? No. Okay, and we added an upgrade station. So now there's a ability to upgrade things that you already have. And right now we only have just the missile launcher because we're doing something called proto of a lot of these new features. In fact, let me kind of demo what this means. So, I've been working in the game industry for quite a while, and one of the things that I brought to the table was just a bit of an experience of like what it means to make video games, at least what I've seen to be successful, and what I believe is a great way to, build anything really. And a lot of this comes from my years of experience as a concept artist. Here, let me adjust something too. I just realized like I'm like tiny on the screen here. I could be a little bit bigger, and I could just like off center me here. There you go. Um, okay, so and this is something I learned from one of my favorite game directors I've ever worked with. His name is Stephen Frost, and one of the things, yeah, of course, I'm getting a call in the midst of a stream. I have this app too. Says it will give me a signal if it's a scam. I get a lot of telemarketer stuff, so it said scam, so I just hung up. Um, and one of the things is like creating a system of review that which allows people opportunities to understand like the status of a certain thing. So what I mean by this is that, for instance, you could have like a prototype. Now, prototype in my mind and most of your guys' mind is as it sounds. It's just something that is quick and easy. It's nothing that should be reviewed or be critical. So there's a lot of stuff that was broken that I saw. I'm not going to be critical of this. I might bring it up, but I'm not going to be like, why is this like this? And why does the art look like that? Like, it's just we're getting it in so we can build a system that we can begin to build off of. And this will bring you to something that's like what I consider functional. And functional, all this does is that it is working as it's intended, it's designed as it's intended, and now we are being hypercritical of this. And perhaps there's different stages of functional that I could probably see, like different rounds before you have to kind of commit. Um, but you live generally in the functional stage, and then you would do kind of the metal system, which is like bronze is shippable, silver is like really good. It's pretty great in terms of its appeal or its implementation, whatever the thing is that we're trying to do. And gold is just it is so good it should win awards. And generally speaking, you want to get as many things to bronze, and then as many high profile features of your project to gold, and everything and anything else you can try to get to silver. It's great. But bronze and gold is really what you want to go for, and silver is just maybe a consequence of you didn't get something to gold because it's time to ship the project, you know. And then I actually have like a fourth layer of the metal system, which is like platinum. And platinum is in agnostic to quality. It's basically saying we are going to leave it as it is. It is never going to advance to silver, gold, whatever. It's just whatever it's at. Like maybe it's at status of silver, we platinum. If it's at gold, maybe it automatically is considered platinum, right? Um, None of this stuff is too important for many of you guys who are trying to learn how to make cool artwork. But this is very similar to like how I actually work. So, for instance, I do thumbnails. Um, so thumbnails to me is like the functional stage. But before the functional stage, we have the proto stage. What is that for me? Well, that's gathering reference, that's studying, that's practicing, that's getting good at the craft. If I have if I don't have an ability to do the thing that I'm asked of, then I will go hardcore parkour in this first start stage. And then thumbnails to me is like the functional stage, and then bronze is like your first sketches that are good enough to potentially even pass to modelers, animators, whoever needs the concept art, and then silver, gold, etc. Right? So to me, thinking this way and iteratively allows you to build like large projects and work with larger teams. Having these different stages allows you to know when you should be critiquing something versus when you're not critiquing something. Because I think a lot of times when people see something, if it's half baked, they will start to be critical of it, almost as if it's like the final version of the the thing. And you might think, well, isn't it obvious sometimes when you're working on something? Yeah, you would think so, but trust me, it's not as obvious. So, um, so for instance, this art right here is probably uh, proto, but this art here is functional, meaning that I'm already very critical of this. In fact, now that I'm flying around, let me kind of take some notes because that's kind of what I want to do with this live stream. So in terms of the interior, I'm going to call it int cent. In terms of the interior of the centurium, I generally think we need uh, more life, and then also more clarity of the stations. Yeah. And then there's another thing, increase scale. Okay, cool. And this is for my first place. I think like these should be a lot bigger stations, and they should also have much more clarity to what their purpose is. Maybe you can actually see on the outside the very thing that they are supposed to do, you know? But anyway, oh yeah, the background art, BG, more life, and then also menu backgrounds. What does this mean? Well, when we go here, I actually want this to not be this kind of gray wash. I want it to actually be, you know what I mean? I want it to be an actual, what you call it, like environment that this character would be in. I think that's the goal. Ooh, this is just kind of a note. Should be able to hit escape. So this is just less about the art. This is more of just like um, features. Or maybe I should do UX/UI. I'm thinking escape, escape hotkey for menu for stations menu. Okay, just keep tabs. All right, let's freaking rock and roll. Ooh, 0 years on the Centurion. Is this true? Oh, this is the simulator. I was like, wait, what? And then this is just the prototype level. It's only 10 seconds of survival, so this is like a proper level. Okay, got it. I think that was probably for my engineer to work, so he can like kind of test stuff without having to worry about um, actually playing the game. It's clever, very very smart. Oh man, I haven't played this. Truly, haven't played this in like a week or so. The holidays, man. Yeah, and for those of you who aren't good at this game, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Me and Kyle were like both tryhards, so we're like really all about like making the game very, very hard. But I was telling him, you want to make at least the first few levels not so hard, so that they're pretty achievable to finish. And I think our current demo build is still pretty tough. Um, just because you want people to understand how to play the game, you want to have people understand what it means to win, and you know do many of the things. But then eventually, once they understand, then you crank up some of the difficulty, so that it's frustrating in a good way, where it's like, or maybe a better way of thinking about it is that it's um, not frustrating, but more challenging, but within grasp. Like you feel like you can actually accomplish some success. And oh yeah, let's go crit build too. If I can start to get some of that crit rarity. Okay. Ugh. Um, there's a couple things I want to write notes about. We still need the history. That's still on the list of stuff we need to get done of upgrades. And then we also want, um, and this is back to the art. So I want the sprites to anti-alias or smoother edges. You know what I mean? All right. I play this kind of game to zone out after work. Yeah, I just sent the link, Frederick. I'm not sure if you saw. I'll send it again. Feel free to play. Now, this isn't the link that I'm sending you is like the latest demo build. It's not the latest version of our game. In fact, we're building. We're going to build a playtest branch that is the latest and greatest versions of our prototypes builds. Like so you could play what I'm playing right now. Knowing that it's a dev build of our project and that we're implementing stuff and it's probably going to be buggy or some things aren't going to be working properly, but it's allowing us to get some feedback, even indirectly. Because the more people play our game, because a lot of the changes we're making are based off of all the initial plays like last month from the demo release. So we've made a lot of adjustments and have done a lot of changes, and we are beginning to implement a proper narrative thing and also upgrade systems as well as some sort of build talent tree that can be kind of categorized through. We're calling it the timelines. Like you got to pick a timeline because our game is all about time and time dilation. So, oh man, what a epic build! Yeah, I would be shocked if I don't survive this. I just got lucky. Look at all those bullets, dude. Nothing can stand a chance. Oh yeah. Oh, another thing that I need to remind myself is maybe creating different colored versions of these things. We can look into that. So people could pick different color ships. That could be fun. I was watching this podcast with some game devs. This is really a popular game dev named Thomas Brush, and he was interviewing the guy that did Charlie the Engine, I think it is. Like it's a horror game with like Thomas the Engine, but instead of Thomas, uh, it's the freaking uh, like a monster train that chases after you. I'm sure some of you guys have heard of it. And they were just talking about game development in general. And one of the things that I thought was really interesting was just how much people truly do like the aesthetics, like being able to have vanity items, like the ability to change colors of stuff. Just that alone. He was talking about how just monetizing the coloring of your train was like a huge boost in his income and his project. Not saying that we're going to do that. I'm just saying like because our game's going to be premium. Like you just buy it and then that's it. You own it. Um, but having those types of features will be sick. You know what I mean? So that people could have like a lot more um, quali- qualitative value with their playthrough. They can really see how they're building their ships and feel the customization. Dude, I'm wrecking house. So I'm gonna put that coloring or maybe some secondary customizations, maybe like little pets. Because although our game is kind of rooted in some science fiction, we can be silly, dude. Hell yeah, I won. Okay, let me put that down so I don't forget. Color, vanity, pets. Okay. Yeah, Kyle's telling me too. He's like, I should play test every day. Because I also agree. Ooh, I forgot all about this. Yeah, this is super cool. Let me write down this too. Um, time passed, but I thought it'd just be cool to show you guys every once in a while, just a little inside baseball kind of thing, where you can see kind of how behind the scenes of me working on a project and how I'm doing it. If you guys want to keep tabs of the progress too of the project, I think right now our Discord's been pretty tame just because we've been super focused on design and building. And it's only the two of us, so it just takes time. We don't have like a community manager. It's just us two, and I'm already swamped with work and teaching. Right now, I don't have as much teaching, but I'm going to be teaching again pretty soon, and I'm going to be swamped all over again. Um, Time passed. Show what changed. There we go. Okay, cool. Cool, 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 cool. So in this instance, we had this idea where because things actually will change, you guys won't see it right away because I don't think it has anything. I haven't played enough, um, but you will see that time, like the actual stuff. Oh, I think the boss fight, nothing will change. The time will be fine. Oh my God, what the? But the buildings actually change. You'll see. And what we want to do is because you're actually getting closer and closer to a black hole, and every time you get closer to the black hole, time is diluted for you, meaning that time slows down, um, or not slows down. Time speeds up for everyone outside, um, for everyone else except for you. So it's basically interstellar. The scene where you're when Matthew McConaughey's character. Whoops! I should have saved it. I'm gonna die probably. Ugh. Um, Yeah, so like when he goes at a wave planet for like an hour and it's like 7 years have passed on the the spaceship or the space station that they're on. So the same thing's going on. So whenever you come back, things have changed. Like people have changed. The people like that used to live there or like be part of those stations are not there anymore, or maybe they are, but under different circumstances, like depending on the timeline you've chosen. And also the weapon upgrades and stuff get more and more advanced because they are moving forward into the future, so they're more technologically advanced. So we want to like make the spaceship feel and seem like that as you go. Oh, that's an interesting idea. Like even the Centurion in the background, because all the boss fights will take place with, I think, some of the Centurion in the background. I guess in this instance, it's just this level. Maybe as you move forward through or closer to the black hole, the background for the boss fights will just be different. Um, I don't know. But with that said, the point I'm making is that that is part of our game's like what separates it is the fact that it has this time dilation to it. Okay, now let me upgrade. Let me get all of the cool stuff. So as soon as they spawn, I will wreck. It looks like they already spawned. I can see them. I'm gonna go for the crit build. Go all crits and pierce. Just do all of that damage. Oh my god. Oh, I thought I died. I probably must have just shot him with a bunch of missiles right when he hit me. Um, 0 years have passed. Okay, let's keep going. Well, actually, I could probably let me see. I could probably buy some stuff. Let me get my favorite weapon is the plasma quad, and it looks like I don't have enough scrap. So one more playthrough. I'll just hang tight. But let's see about the upgrades though. Can I get this 200 tech? Okay, I got just one more playthrough. One more playthrough, and I should be able to do this. Okay. Where did I get the idea for this project? Sorry, I'm starting to read the chat. I just realized there's a lot of people here watching. Um, yeah, so there's a game called Vampire Survivors, which I really liked a lot. Um, and games like it, there's another game like 20 Minutes Till Dawn. And basically, it's this genre of game that has been spawned. It's called the Bullet Heaven genre. And essentially, the Heaven genre is a play on the bullet hell, except instead of everything around you being like bullets flying at you, like a millions and trillions of bullets, you're technically the bullet hell for everything else. So you become a bullet heaven. So you kind of build towards just setting yourself to be just a bullet making machine. Sorry, my son is like, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm good. Ooh, dodged it right in the nick of time. My son is like, he got the wire of my headphones, and he was just kept on kicking it. I wonder if you could have saw that like in the camera, like you just see this like moving around, but it was getting annoying. Oh my gosh, I need to pay attention. All right, let's go explosions. Multi-shot was tight. No, pierce, and then go crit build. Let's go. Firing rate would be helpful. Um, And so, I'm a big fan of sci-fi, as many of you guys know from following my artwork, where I have lots of robots and stuff like this. And a lot of my favorite projects I've ever worked on have been sci-fi. So, for me, it's just a matter of like, um, yeah, just being a big fan of sci-fi. And we came up with these. We were thinking about like, okay, what does it mean to be in a game that has a lot of time in it? Like all this type of stuff, and where time is like a really important factor in terms of survival. What if like there was time dilation? What if there was like consequences to how long you can survive or how many times you attempt to try to survive? So if I die, it just adds up though. Every year just keeps adding up, and at some point, that is like the end state of the larger game. It's not so much surviving these individual levels, but maybe surviving the larger consequence of years and years and centuries going by. You only have so many centuries before, maybe 2 centuries before the Centurion either runs out of resources or it's completely destroyed or it's like all the people on board are gone. Like there's consequences for being trapped in these time dilated situations. And we thought that would be a really cool play. This is going to be a challenging build. I need to go all in on a crit because with multi-shot, you just shoot a ton. But I know what this level's about, and there's going to be a moment where there's just going to be a lot of big bad guys that are tanky and they can take it, even if you have millions of bullets flying at them. So you need high damage weapons that can continuously fire even after they've hit their target. So having pierce means that the missiles will hit the first target, but then hit the next target right behind. Oh my gosh, with even more damage. So you might be able to kill the enemies that will be coming at you before they even show up on screen because the bullets will just go off screen and continuously do damage. Okay, I need to. Oh yeah, it's a new dash. I forgot about this. Okay, I need to really increase my pierce and my damage. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. 360, 225. Look at those damages. Especially you got to kill them faster than they can spawn. Again, multi-shot's awesome in the beginning, and this level specifically, but then I found that it just becomes really tough to kill the big dudes that show up later. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, here comes some of the big guys. I don't know if I can take them just yet. Okay, that might help. Yeah, 600 damage. Oh. All right, so let's go back to the ship. I should have yeah, so 13 years have passed. So what was that? That's 25 years. But I should have enough to buy some. Oh, not enough scrap. Okay, let's upgrade though. Let's get this missile launcher. Yeah, let's do the barrage. Do I have it now? Is it not working? Oh, dang it. I thought it would work. Maybe it is working. No. Yeah, it did work. It's just that my missiles don't look any different. So that's just a bug. They should have changed, but this is what I wanted. And so now let's just go the all missile because the barrage. Look at that, dude. Look at all this freaking bananas I got, dude. All right, I'll play one more level and then I'm gonna stop and then do some painting. I'm gonna do some world building of this project. Oh yeah, look at that, dude. This is OP. Yeah, with Pierce. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. They're not gonna have a chance. This is really clever design. I didn't realize how good of an idea this would be, because now you can kind of build quote unquote a multi-shot build without actually getting the multi-shot synergy. Yeah, this is the way. This is the way. Okay, cool. Cool, 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 cool. And then having a lot of different upgrade options, like randomize and make a roguelike out of this would be really fun. What's up, Michelangelo? Good to see you, man. Keep drawing those cool, badass fucking monsters. You should start to render some of those other things that you had done for the class, man. I really liked a lot of what you did. Okay, so we're gonna go Pierce, and then we're going to go. damage and crit. Anything damage, well, that's important, or anything crit based, we're going to do. Yeah, dude, look at that. This is super cool. Oh yeah, these guys have no chance. Yeah, I can't wait to see how this will do against the big guys. Yeah, but after I survive this one, which I'm almost certain I will now, um, yeah, there's just missiles flying everywhere. Look at all those bananas, guys. You guys won't be able to play this build, by the way. This is our dev build. But like I said, we have a meeting today, so I'll talk with them about creating a dev build branch so that people can play our latest, truly latest version of the project. Because we made a lot of changes, but it required us to just sit still and just make the changes. Because otherwise, um, updating every day, which we do, um, it's just minor stuff to change. I think a weekly updates or maybe every other week could be good because there's a lot of things that would be changed. So it would feel really good. Okay, let me get some more Pierce. Dude, my baby's doing really great. He's just sitting here, just chilling, living his best baby life, bro. Not causing any trouble while I'm streaming. Yeah, dude. Orlo's, I'm gonna copy that build when it comes out. Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be a point, and probably closer to uh, February and March, where we're just gonna sit still and just balance our game because we have a lot of new features we want to add. Still, there's a couple more things. Not a lot. I say a lot, but like it's really just like two big things. Truly, oh yeah, look at these big guys. They can't handle this now. Oh, they're getting close now still. Oh my god. Okay. Ooh, watch out for the projectiles. Definitely going to upgrade. Let's get more damage. I think firing rate would be worth getting to, but we'll see. Yeah, dude, I'm one-shotting them. Two. Wait, was that 900,000? No, that was not. Okay. No, I think it was just two 900s. Yeah, I'm doing like 4K damage, dude, to some of these guys. Whoa, 8K? Like, look at the guys on the peripheral, on the edges, because they're getting the pierce damage, which multiplies your crit and your damage. So they're really getting screwed. Okay, let me. Yeah, let's just go for more damage. Yeah, let's increase the. Nah, let's. What's up? What's up, Eli? Mario. Um. Oh yeah, I have a good chance of surviving this one. Just gotta still play conservative. Right? Like they're still getting close to me. I can't just sit still yet. I can't just sit on the bench and watch the chaos unfold. Yeah, yeah. Look at that, dude. Oh my God, they're getting too close. Let's get some of this. I know, Papa. I know, Mario. You guys can't hear him. I have like noise suppression on this thing on my mic. So, oh, my wife's feeding him now too. Nice. You should just take him to the table. Take the iPad, so that way you don't have to be on your knees. My wife just oh here these big shooter guys. These shooter guys are tough too. I need to like get close to them so I can actually take them out. These guys that have like these like circular halo things. Anyway, oh dude, what? Look at all the bananas, bro. Look at all the bananas. The banana build, bro. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, increase that firing rate. Must take every upgrade as they come. No more saving them. Every upgrade counts. As soon as I get it, must upgrade. Okay. 4 seconds. Ooh, ooh, ooh. The projectiles. Okay, cool. Damn, dude. I did like almost 7 million damage. I gotta screenshot that. All right, I'm done. I'm done playing. All right. Good game. Good game. Let me go ahead and save these notes too. I'm gonna have to rewrite these so that they're in text document. But anyhow, let's do some world building, just a little bit, shall we? How are you handling everything from a monetary perspective? Is it a passion project where you dedicate your free time so it doesn't, and so does your collaborators? Yeah, it's a passion project. Obviously, the goal would be to bring some success to us, but it's a marathon, just like everything. I always teach my students this too. Like, you know, you should try to focus on the things you want to try to get good at and work towards like putting that time in and day out. And so we've been doing this for almost 7 months. I think by the time we properly release this game, it will be an entire year of development, like 1 year. And I think we're both kind of in the boat of like once we hit that, we're just gonna call it a day. We did our best. If it's a huge success, great. If it's just a moderate success, cool. If it's not a big success, it is what it is. We took a lot of lessons. We'll take a lot of lessons either way. And then we're going to jump on our next project. We have another game idea that we really like. So we're just going to keep making games until something really sticks. And I think like year-long development works for our small team. So we just can kind of work fast, make a lot of games annually. And that's just how I like to work too. And then maybe at some point we get so good that we make a couple games annually. As you guys know, I'm like a really quick, fast painter. So one of the characters that I really like in our story. Um, and right now we have a very specific style that we're building towards, but I think I'm gonna maybe make the character portraits more illustrative. But one of the characters that I really like is this black hole occultist called Elk, and he is like huge fan. He's got like a huge boner for the black hole. And right now I'm kind of designing him to be a bit of a saboteur, right? Like he is trying to sabotage the ship and your mission so he can get closer and closer to the black hole. And so part of the timeline strategies is that you can kind of pick an allegiance. And you can also be like, you know what, black holes are tight. Let's just go. And he will give you perks towards what that means. And right now I'm looking at black hole technology and advancements more like the way you would look at magic, you know? And so him building towards like a magic, or so you going towards his timeline would kind of pseudo be building towards a magic, like superstitious type of build. You know, there's another character which I'll probably talk more about as I build these people out, but I want to just concept some of these people. Um, and so he is on a mission, and again, we're still building out the story. If you guys have any cool ideas that you would like to offer, I cannot pay you for this free labor, but any suggestions and advice would be greatly appreciated. But one thing that I will say is that we are going to make the world secondary to the gameplay. The gameplay ultimately is still what's fun, but we want to build an IP. We want to have characters that are actually um, that have some meaning to people. People actually like them and like what's happening with them. And anyone who cares about the storyline and beats up the story, they can follow along. But if they don't care about it, then they don't need to. Like you could play the whole game without actually really understanding the full context of the story. That is totally fine. Like there's games like StarCraft and uh, Warcraft. Remember in the beginning when I used to play those games, like the big notes of the stories I would always be able to pay attention to, but like the mission stories almost were uh, just in and out of my mind, right? But like the big notes, like I remember like when Arthas kills Uther in Warcraft or when Kerrigan turns Zerg, like those are like some big heavy notes, but I don't remember like the fourth mission and what we had to do. So I think like we were gonna try to build towards something similar, if that makes sense. Like something that's not like in your face storyline. It's just if you care to engage in it, you can. I'm considering this very similar to what I remember experiencing in the first Diablo. Remember Diablo 1? For those of you who are old enough to play that game, there was a story and it was very very available, but like you could literally just go into the dungeon without really talking to many people and just get all the way to Diablo and just kill him and then beat the game. You know? and the only story you got again was like via the cinematics. And I think that's probably the same thing that we're probably going to do. We're going to probably build out like cinematic moments versus having what you call it, um, yeah, building out like cinematic moments versus having these kind of large scale like story that you can follow along by reading all the dialogue. I think it might be cool to just have little animatics here and there that pop in to kind of really show you the larger beats of what's happening. Um, that's more feasible with our small team. I can work quickly in making art, but obviously I can't draw thousands and thousands of images um, to account for every and all story, if that makes sense. Actually, I want to make him a little bit younger. But anyway, hope that makes sense to you guys. So this guy, Black Hole Occultist guy, is just got a super hard on for black holes and wants to dive deeper and deeper into them and wants to uncover their mysteries. And so he becomes a little bit of a fanatic as time goes on. And depending if you pick his timeline, you might actually build a very dark timeline, if you know what I mean. Um, but yeah, I'm just gonna do some rough concepts. Not going to do anything super solid here. Yeah, I wonder if I should switch my brush too and do more of like a painterly aesthetic. So I want to play around because we are starting to introduce some portraits art, but I have not concepted what these could look like, nor have I concepted any of the characters. What you saw there was all proto art, meaning that it's there to kind of be used as an asset for the engineering to plug in and that it works. Now I just got to actually replace with real artwork. All right. Kind of looks like a chef. You can try better. Let's keep going. It doesn't look as cool as my rough sketch that I did. So let's try a different approach. I do like this kind of. Oh, you know what might be fun? Let's do symmetrical stuff. Symmetry might be a good play here. That way I can really focus on kind of his design being super symmetrical and maybe selling this premise of order. Yeah, this might be the way. Does the robot have pencil upgraded in the game? John Wick style? How are you handling? Okay, I read that one. I have a hard on for black holes. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't? Michelangelo mentioned he had a lot of confidence of light and color doing that render. Yeah, yeah, man. That's the whole point of like taking your images to finish, right? It helps you really understand what you ought to have had in the makings of it, you know? So I'm happy to hear that. Should I make him like kind of weird too? Like he's got like a bare chest, just like his chest is open, just some Dune looking motherfucker. And like he's got like some sort of outfit on. It's just like his chest is just straight out open, open air chest. And I think I should stylize these because our game is relatively stylized, and I want it to feel arcadey. I don't want the characters to be like super realistic looking. You know, I want it. I want our game to have potential charm because even right now the dialogue that I put in is not very charming. It's just kind of the first stages of the dialogue, but I definitely want to bring some some levity to our storyline. I don't want it to be like super edgelord. I just want it to be fun and cool. Like it's like, oh wow, look at all this different timelines I can do. Look at all those storylines that are unraveled because of my playthroughs. Like I want that to be the vibe. Yeah, because we're not um, a large team and we don't have like I don't want to even make the assumption that we have like the greatest writing chops. Our strengths are art, workflow, and game design. I think that's our greatest strengths. So just leverage those things. Just lean into those. Yeah, I like this dichotomy of art styles though. So that could be cool. Just got to see how it looks and feels. I think like with a bit of like a rough edge, but like it still has kind of a cell shaded aesthetic to it is the way to go. So that way it has kind of a rasterized kind of not rasterized. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking has a little bit more of like hard lines, hard rendering. It's not like very soft rendering, kind of like what I've done in the arms. I think that will work well with the current art style that we have. Almost graphic novel vibes. Yeah, this guy's way cooler. This guy feels like a black hole cultist. The other guy feels more like a chef. But you'll notice, like in terms of like workflow, like I immediately move on to the next concept. I don't try to fix that first drawing. I try to learn from it. And I think a lot of times when people are concepting, they are immediately stuck on that first sketch and they're trying to make that sketch work instead of just doing a bunch more and then kind of finding what works best, you know? Like his hand is really jinked right now, but honestly, it's a waste of my time to clean up that hand if I'm just trying to build the world. What I'll do is I'll come back after I've done a couple more drawings just to see if it's even worth fixing, which I can already tell that it will be. But I don't want to do that now. It's pointless. Yeah, this guy looks cultist as fuck. Okay, cool. Let's keep with the symmetry vibes. Let me downscale this concept because it's probably still worth keeping around. We'll just move them over here. And then what I'll do here, um, we'll create a solid color layer and put this underneath all of these layers. So then I can indiscriminately scale stuff because I didn't separate the layers well. So we'll just put this guy over here for now. It's cool. And I can just delete this guy. And then with this guy, we can just move him right on over. Cool. Let's do another symmetrical design. And then we'll call it a day. I need to kind of get out of here. Uh, Let me see. Hey, thank you for what you are doing. I took the mentorship class 3 years ago. Awesome. And now work for a side project and full-time gig in the mobile industry. I'm glad to hear that, man. Hey, have you ever went multiple times over forms undecisively, and how did you get over that? Yeah, of course. Back when I first started, I just, came to the conclusion that that's obviously a waste of my effort, and so the way I got over it is just got better at painting, like learned how to be a better painter, um, in general. Let's make this guy a little bit like agnostic in his gender too. Something about that uncertainty is kind of cult vibes too, right? I yeah, just got good. I know it's kind of a lame answer, but it is the truth. I spent a lot of years practicing anatomy, perspective, all of these types of things to make my ability to paint better, um, incredibly efficient. I think that a lot of times when people are so focused on getting it right the first time, they don't, uh, they forget that that's just not plausible. It just doesn't happen, you know? It's very rare to do something for the first time ever and then nail it. And so if you're rendering your forms and they're really bad and you're realizing that you're spending all this time and you're having a hard time kind of sorting it out, give it your best effort, like spend another, hour or 2 hours, like really take it to a good stage of fidelity. I think that's totally fine, you know? I think that's absolutely fine. But, you know, come to grips with that, with the fact that you're just not good enough yet. And so once you've done that really long exercise of trying to take it to some sort of level of finish, then go ahead and take notes of all the things you could have done better. Um, the previous stream that I just did earlier or late last week, if you watch, I think it will be 59. Um, I do a study session, and I'm probably going to come back to that study session in in the near future. But in that study, I talked about part of like what I didn't like about my first study and what I felt like I didn't learn. And so I did another one, but I gave it a fair attempt because you want to really try to make sure that when you come back and adjust, that it's based off of some real information, not just your feelings of failure, but more based off of what actually failed, uh, and how it was really hard and all the resistance you acquired while trying to learn it. Hope that makes sense, man. Know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is super cool. Yeah, I'm really into this black hole cultist vibes. Yeah, I'm almost considering too that the the main the main characters of some of the other stuff that we're doing need to be even cooler because he's just so cool. He's like the multi-shot of our narrative. And if you play our game, you know what I mean. It's just like because multi-shot seems so overpowered at the beginning. I mean, it's still really overpowered, but definitely in the beginning, it was just clearly overpowered. So he's feeling like that, but with the narrative. All right. Okay. I think this is good for now. Yeah, I think this is the way. Just do a bunch of straight on shots. I think this character just deserves to be designed this way. But anyhow, I'm gonna stop it from here. I might continue doing more, but for now I'll just crop this, pretend that there is no more. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out for just a second. I'm gonna head out now, take a break, get some lunch, and then yeah, get to work. Cheers, friends. Have a good rest.